Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and today we are looking at 5 terrifying children's cartoons. There is something unnerving about creepy sequences in supposedly family-friendly media, so when something particularly shocking is shown in shows aimed at kids, it can be even creepier than the similar visuals found in adult material, perhaps because of the expectation the audience has. These cartoons are meant to be safe. So let's take a look at some horrifying examples of kids' cartoons gone wrong. Number 5. The Mad Doctor. We begin our list with a cartoon from 1933. The Mad Doctor was a short film from Walt Disney which featured lovable characters Pluto and Mickey Mouse. This cartoon begins with a horrifying sequence in which a visibly distressed Pluto is torn away from Mickey's home by a mysterious hooded figure. It is revealed the hooded man is in fact the Mad Doctor, who plans to attach Pluto's head to a body of a chicken. There is a sequence in which Pluto is hung from a hook and forced to watch as the Doctor cuts his shadow in half with a pair of scissors. And remember, this is a children's animation made in the 1930s. Mickey also suffers an unspeakable act of violence. He is strapped down as a gigantic saw blade drops down from above. Mickey can be seen screaming out in terror before we learn it was all just a bad dream. Still, this cartoon remains shocking to this day and was even banned in Germany and Great Britain. Number 4. Betty Boop's Snow White. The Fleischer brothers made some decidedly weird animations back in the day, and Betty Boop was one of many zany characters they created over the years. However, the 1932 episode Betty Boop's Snow White was more than just weird, it was downright creepy. The cartoon is a parody of the Disney classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. After the dwarves believe Betty to be dead, they begin carrying her frozen body away, and this makes way for a creepy musical number sung by a spooky looking clown. As the clown sings, we see images of skeletal dinosaurs trying on trousers, ghouls playing poker, and a horrifying cow playing a piano. Then the evil queen shows up and transforms the clown into an eyeless ghost with a pair of towering legs that run all the way up to his head. Eventually the bizarre imagery comes to an end and Betty Boop awakes, just in time for her trusty dog companion to vanquish the queen by grabbing her tongue and pulling her inside out in grotesque fashion. Number 3. The Brave Little Toaster Nightmare Sequence. The Brave Little Toaster was a 1987 children's animation put together by a group of ex-Disney animators and followed the exploits of a group of household appliances as they made their journey from the old house to a new apartment in the city after getting left behind by the family who owned them. It's sort of like Homeward Bound with a toaster. The film contains a few disturbing scenes, but perhaps the worst is a nightmare sequence in which the toaster dreams of being reunited with his master, happily toasting bread for the little boy until smoke begins to rise from inside him. The boy is dragged away as the smoke forms a giant hand, and after the door slams shut, a hideous clown emerges and whispers, "Run." The toaster bolts away, pursued by a gigantic ocean wave that morphs into hundreds of sharp forks ready to impale him. We then switch to a new scene where the toaster hangs above a bathtub full of red water that looks eerily like blood. He begins to lose his grip before plummeting to his death in a flash of sparks. It's a lot to handle in the space of a minute, especially for the audience it's aimed towards. It's also worth pointing out the film covered some pretty dark themes, including torture, emotional rejection, death, and depression. Number 2. Ren and Stimpy, Man's Best Friend. There were several 90s cartoons that pushed the limits of what had previously been deemed acceptable for kids' network television. John Krukowski's bizarre Nickelodeon show Ren and Stimpy was surely one of the most offensive, frequently pushing boundaries with its taboo themes, gruesome imagery, innuendos, and general insanity. Season 2 of the show, however, contained an episode so outrageous for the time that not only did it never air, it also saw showrunner and creator John Kay getting fired. In the episode Man's Best Friend, Ren and Stimpy are adopted by a bully named George Licker. Throughout the episode, George instills fear upon both characters in an effort to discipline them. The tone of the episode is strange, with a lot of yelling and emotional distress being inflicted upon both Ren and Stimpy. It isn't until the end of the episode, when Ren is given the chance to attack his master, that it becomes truly obvious why this episode became banned. The beating Ren dishes out is gratuitous and violent, and he seems to derive a genuine sense of pleasure from doing so. It is perhaps one of the most shockingly violent moments to be seen in any 90s kids TV show. Number 1. The Last Unicorn, Mommy Fortuna's Death. Mommy Fortuna is an ugly old witch who runs a carnival but keeps mystical creatures caged up for public inspection. The unicorn is captured by Fortuna but then convinces a young wizard named Smethwick to release her and the other entrapped beasts. One of these creatures is a terrifying harpy, a violent and dangerous animal who, once freed, enacts its revenge upon the witch Fortuna in a grisly fashion. We see several shots of the harpy feasting on the witch, but what makes this scene truly disturbing is the way Mommy Fortuna freely embraces her fate, cackling as she is ripped apart. It's not really a moment a young child is likely to forget anytime soon. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, remember to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one, and I will see you on the next one.